Hello, everybody. It's Max with Crypto Talk Now. Glad to be here with you tonight. I'm going to go ahead and see who happens to be here with us. I know we had a little bit of a later start. That's okay. Um, First person here is Tim Shea, who says, "Hey, thank you for joining us tonight, Tim." And next we have Brittany, says, "Happy Tuesday." And of course, Tim Shea is saying hello back to Brittany. Well, uh, appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully, everybody's enjoying this particular day, this Tuesday night. And I can't believe that starting tomorrow, we'll only have 32 days left of the year. Kind of flew by, to say the least. So, will crypto winter fly by too? I don't think so, but we'll see how this goes. Um, Mr. No Face is also in the house. Thank you, of course, for joining us as well. I'm going to go ahead and just actually get right into the show after greeting, of course, Mr. Brian Dowie, who's also here. Good to have you here, Brian. I'm going to go ahead and basically see what's going on with the overall crypto market in general. Some of you guys already seen this, but thought I'd bring it to your attention. So, set at 855.32 billion, up close to about 4%. So on, the ones that are trending are in the top three, I should say, are Pancake Swap, Bitcoin in itself, and Solana. On top of that, on the 24-hour chart for the top 100, we have Huobi token. HT is up about close to 15%. The original Fano with an F, up about 10%. And even Ethereum, right, is up about close to 8%, which is pretty big in regards to Ethereum. Clayton is up about 6.80%. Dogecoin is kind of holding its own, and it's up 5.5%, up 37% for the week. And on that 7-day chart, ApeCoin, of course, 35%, Dogecoin, 37%, and so on. On my particular watch list, we have, let me see right here, Telecoin. We kind of talked about it briefly. It's doing pretty well. It's up about 52% for the week. It's actually going to go through this and take this particular one off my list forever. And let's see here. It's going to kind of go back into that. Yeah, took Apollo off of that for sure. Anyway, give me a second. All right, there we go. MetaMonkey AI is up about 16%, 21% for the 7 days. I know there's some news that came out about, for instance, the wallet and so on. But some of these other ones, XXI Gaming's Stratos, right? It's doing really, really well. 142% on the average for the 7-day chart, up 13.74% on 24-hour. That's pretty huge. I did see my on my portfolio that Shiba Doge went up 13.22%, 32% on the 7-day. Of course, there's some other ones, right? Like even Bones, from Shiba Swap, right? About roughly 11%. And some of these other ones, right? Even Doge Chain, right? Anything Doge related seems like it's kind of doing well. All right, definitely wanted to go ahead and point some of that out. I'm going to kick it back into the comments just for a brief moment, and then we'll get into some of our XRP coverage. Again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. And you guys saying hello to Mr. No Face, and everybody's greeting each other. Thanks for doing that. Tim Shea is mentioning why Huobi didn't they have issues. I don't know. That's one particular one I didn't research, so you probably know a little bit more about it than I do. All right, let's get into some of the particular coverage we have. I have one I'm going to share from CTN's own Brian Dowie. And if anything, this lady, she's kind of, I don't know, out there in a way, but she, like Brian mentioned, she does bring up some good points. And of course, before I do, I just want to welcome another guy who's been coming to our show quite often from the recorded and also here, Daniel Delgado. Thank you so much for being here, Daniel. Really appreciate you. Joyce is in the house. Hello, Joyce. Good to have you. You guys, of course, greeting each other. And right back at you. So with that said, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight that particular area. and we're going to get right into it. So let's first, of course, recognize what's going on with XRP. Gotta pull that up. So you guys probably saw this yourself if you follow the Watcher Guru. It says just in reality, it was this morning, right? So about 10:32 my time this morning, just in, Coinbase wallet will no longer support XRP as of December 5th, 2022. Some people are interpreting this as like a very bad thing. Other people, especially us, a lot of us, I should say, at least myself, I'll speak on myself, maybe not all of us, feel that this is, the potential of something very bullish. And this particular woman that you're going to see in this particular clip, she's kind of out there, but if anything, she does a very good job of making her point. Because if you think about it, if a lot of these big exchanges won't have the liquidity, if you will, to provide, for instance, XRP goes nuts, just kind of makes you wonder why maybe the likes of Coinbase and some of these other ones are delisting XRP. So I looked more into it, and I, of course, went to the official page for this from Watcher Guru. So it comes up with this, and it's just kind of like this headline that you basically see right here. It says prominent cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase wallet has announced they will no longer, of course, support XRP. And it's not just them. It was actually 3 other tokens as of December 5th. The update was given today stating that the coins are no longer supported. The change was a shock to some Coinbase users like ourselves, right? Heck, I even use Coinbase wallet, right? With the platform citing, quote, low usage as its reasoning. Now, I understand that, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, XLM is even on the list. But XLM is also on the list, and I think of the connection between that and XRP. And so here's what I want to explain in my particular breakdown, okay? So you're going to do an amicus brief, right, as we basically know, on behalf of Ripple. Then you're going to come back with this. And then on top of that, you're going to throw Stellar Lumens into the mix. Again, we'll get into some of these points that we're going to make. But if anything, again, draw your connection. I'm not trying to make a conspiracy theory out of it. But when you hear, for instance, this particular lady, when she explains it, she does a good job. Even though, she is a little bit out there. All right. Like I mentioned, there's 4 major tokens no longer on Coinbase. The cryptocurrency firm surprised clients with its announcements today, stating the 4 major tokens that will no longer be supported by the platform. The announcement stated, quote, as of December 5th, 2022, Coinbase Wallet will no longer be supporting the following, like we mentioned, due to low usage. On top of that, the release continued by affirming to customers that, quote, this does not mean your assets will be lost. They added, any unsupported asset that you hold will still be tied to your addresses and accessible through your Coinbase Wallet recovery phase. Of course, there's more notes in regards to all this. A little bit more in regards to this. It says the statement affirmed that the Coinbase Wallet recovery phrase will still remain, of course, will maintain access to unsupported tokens, yet any actions taken with unsupported tokens beyond December 5th deadline will cause you to lose them. Yikes. All right, so keep in mind that if you happen to hold them. The rescinded support on the platform now means that the 4 tokens will lose access to, for instance, these key things: decentralized apps, and of course their support networks. Moreover, the change lessens the pool of platforms available via Coinbase. And of course, there's a little bit more on this particular one, but I definitely want to bring that to your attention. And of course, next is this lady that I was basically presenting to you. Again, keep in mind what she has to say and so on. And we'll go ahead and listen to that here briefly. I just got to pull it up. It is actually straight from a TikTok. And let's just pull it up. All right. This one is close to 3 minutes, and then we'll be right back afterwards.
What's up, Nakawells? Welcome to the Naka Report. My name is Mrs. Nakamoto, and today do I have the video for you. Coinbase is delisting XRP. Bullish AF. Are you kidding me? Okay, so let's get into it. Number one, Here's the article if you want to check it out on seekingalpha.com. So Coinbase wallet to delist Bitcoin Cash, Ether Classic, Ripple, Stellar, citing low usage. Okay, why am I so bullish if Coinbase is delisting XRP? Because obviously they are afraid of not having enough liquidity, okay? Let me just tell you one thing, folks. Number one, we are in a bear market, okay? Number one, bear market. Because if this was happening during a bull market and funds were flying all over the place, that would be concerning to me. And I'd be like, oh, let's do a deep dive. But literally, this whole industry is on toothpicks right now. Toothpicks. Literally toothpicks, okay? And not only that, is that everything that just finished happening with the FTX scandal and literally 90% of the industry attached to that, which we have still yet to see blow up in everyone's face, is that, in my opinion, the reason why Coinbase is delisting all of these different coins is because, number one, they're afraid that if the court case ends and that the price of XRP just shoots to the sky, they don't have enough in their reserves. Say it with me. They don't have enough in their reserves to cover XRP because it could be going to the moon very well right after. Woo-woo, but not financial advice, obviously, okay? But yeah, I saw a graph of like all the different top exchanges, and literally a lot of them, they're not holding XRP. So could you imagine if tomorrow morning the price of XRP pew to the sky, how many exchanges would literally go bust because they couldn't afford to pay their customers? Ooh, did I really just say that? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And yeah, I think that's the real issue, because this is obviously not true, because Bitcoin Cash, number one, Roger Ver busts his Roger Ver is pushing Bitcoin Cash all through the different things with actual payments live like crazy. So this isn't because of low usage. Also, Ripple price has been up in like 16% in the past like 2 months. Okay, very good. Stellar, all of these different things. So in my opinion, this is bullish, because I believe the reason why they're doing it is because they would not have enough liquidity to cover if the price went sky high. So that's just my opinion. Stay informed, stay liquid, love all my narco whales, and let's ride these waves together. Ride these waves together. Woo! What's up, Narco?
Wow, that was something else. But anyway, you know, she does bring the point to light, and if anything, I definitely wanted to share that and so on. I'd be telling their kids this one thing, I'll tell you that much, and that is, this ain't no dang romper room. So yeah, absolutely, this ain't no damn romper room. All right. So again, trying to do the whole 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out. Thank you for those who just recently connected and joined us here tonight at CTN. We'll see who's up next in the comments, and it happens to be just Brian Dowie. Say hello to Joyce, of course. Daniel saying hello, everybody. XRP news bullish as you know what? Absolutely. That's the way I feel about it as well. I mean, you know, some people, especially the new ones, might look at it as, you know, oh man, this sucks. This is really, really bad. But, you know, again, she's out there, but she does bring up a good point. And if anything, that makes sense. It makes sense that these exchanges might not have enough to cover all this, right? So, I mean, you don't just come on, you know, and say, hey, man, you know, we're in great support, you know, amicus brief and so on for the likes of Ripple. I then basically pull this if you don't see something really big happening soon. And if anything, I mean, you know, I'm just looking at it from that perspective. All right. Joyce says she saw Bitcoin up 17,000 a little while ago. All right. It did touch 17 earlier. Huh. Interesting. Well, you know, I do see, currently speaking, Bitcoin. Yeah, that makes sense. It's up to 16,993. Yeah. It just touched 17 as we speak. So thanks for pointing that out. I just literally saw it. If you guys happen to be on CMC, let's see here. Brian Dowie says he thinks at some point exchanges will run out of XRP, like she basically pointed out. And again, shout out to you for providing that particular lady with, you know, what she shared and so on. So, but you know what? Shout out to her. She's being herself and being comfortable and so on. And that's what matters, you know, not trying to, you know, fit towards somebody's view of how she should be and how she should act and whatnot. So, if anything, she's creating more and more exposure and bringing more, you know, helping XRP trend, I guess you could say, by, you know, on the TikTok platform, because let's face it, I mean, that's a platform that you know, we're trying to, I guess you could say, jump into it. I mean, I know, was it recently, within the last month or so, Classy Crypto even got on there. So there you have it. All right, Tim Shea, Joyce should bounce between 15K and 17K for a bit, in his opinion. Yep. All right, Michael Montclair's in the house. Nice looking, was it a blazer sport coat with a polo shirt? It looks really good, man. Let me zoom in on that. Yeah, it's a nice look. Looking sharp. Good to have you here. Let me get back to my spot. Everybody's welcoming you. Joyce says, "Oh no, XLM2." Yep. I mean, again, why specifically those particular ones? Now, I guess they had to throw in some of those other ones to kind of off, I guess you could say, make people not so, I don't know, weary of conspiracy. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I think that would definitely brought out all the conspiracy theory people if they would just been like, you know what, we're taking XRP, XLM. If they would say something like XDC or something like that on there, I don't even know if XDC is on Coinbase Vault, but you get my point. Like, I've been like, all right, yeah, I know exactly what's going on here. But anyway, Michael Montclair, no, I bought XLM today on Coinbase. Okay. Tim Shea, Crypto Talk Now says Somo Flood, who's in the house. Good to have you, Somo. I saw a few more people join us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here at CTN. Brian Dowie, Somo, you down with XRP? And of course, he's going to say, hell yeah, you know me. Bullish is, you know what? And let's get further down. Good clip. It was a good clip. We got some more for you guys and so on. If you haven't seen the latest XRP video in regards to the Bank of London officially basically stating that banks need XRP or Ripple's XRP, check it out. It's not super long of a video and so on, but it's in the recorded. And of course, we're going to continue to cover the likes of the triple X's, XRP, XLM, XDC, as well as Quant. Look out for a Quant video. There's some more info that's going to be released later tonight. And of course, I'll try to do some follow-ups in regards to XRP. There's some recent news in regards to XDC, and I'm probably just going to do that in a particular recorded. But anyway, yeah, thanks, Daniel. And Dorval family's in the house. Haven't seen in a while. He says, good evening, Max. What's XRP circulating supply? I don't know offhand, but I'm going to double check real quick. So it looks like we are at 50,290,000,000 on a circulating supply. Selma Flood, I got everything in my mama's name. Okay. Everyone's saying hello to Dorval. Thank you for that. Coochie Boy is in the house. He says, sup, Sir Max. Good to see you, Coochie Boy. And guys, if you haven't followed Coochie Boy, man, you should, especially if you use Twitter. He really, really kills it with the coverage, like literally nonstop throughout the day and so on. He's just really like tweeting all sorts of different things in regards to, like, you know, crypto related topics. He's really, really on top of that. So if anything, follow Coochie Boy, and if you're interested, I'm sure he can drop you his Twitter handle. All right. Everybody saying hello to each other. Thank you for that. It's good to have a lot of the community engaged with each other and so on. We'll get right back into some of the XRP coverage here in a moment. Oh yeah, absolutely. Check out Common Sense Crypto. Very good stuff. Yeah, Rich with Common Sense Crypto is very, very good. Never shows his face. That's okay. But he does amazing coverage. A lot of people really enjoy it. And that guy, he absolutely blew up from last March to present. I wish him nothing but the best. I listen to him pretty much almost like every other day, not necessarily daily and so on, but I do really try to keep up with what he has to say, because I mean, he provides really, really great content. So yep, shout out to Rich, Common Sense Crypto. If you're into the ISO 222 token / coins, I highly could recommend him as well. Just simply look up Common Sense Crypto. I think he's like at roughly maybe close to 20,000 subscribers, or maybe over that. I don't know. He's definitely blown up. Yes, Michael Rich gives great information. He really does. You're welcome, Dorval. No problem. Glad to give it to you. That was really easy to pull up for you real quick. All sorts of nonsense also. Yeah, sometimes people, are not in agreement of some of what he provides. I think the main thing that is a turnoff, if you're going to give him constructive criticism, is he does bring a lot of controversial or like conspiracy theorist type stuff. He's addressed that as well and so on. So it's kind of like, an acquired taste, if you will. But I am a fan of him. So anyway, yeah, even Bright Eye, he's a big fan of Rich. Great content. Yep. Coochie Boy has that ASS. Ladies say I am interesting. With a name like that, you definitely gotta be interesting, to say the least. Not making fun, of course. We know you got history behind that name from a young age. Mike Who Cheese Harry. I don't understand that one. All right. Top Shelf Crypto, aka Edward Vincent. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Common Sense Crypto. I hope you're having a wonder day wherever you are in this great world. Yeah, he does do that. I think one of his best punchlines is, hey, it's Rich with another, or with some coverage on XRP. I can't even do it, but you know who can do it really well is Edward Vincent. He does it almost spot on. As long as you stay to the script, right, everything will be fine. But when you deviate from it and throw in some other stuff in there, but if you stick to that original script, I'm telling you guys, Edward, you ought to put a video together, call it something like Rich from Common Sense Crypto Impersonation or something like that. You never know. It could go viral. All right. Thank you for all those who join us here tonight. Mike Who Cheese Harry. I hope I'm not saying something that is like a subliminal message, like so effing we blankety blank, right? He says, hey, Coochie Boy. All right. Tim Shea. Hey, Edward. Michael Montclair. Lots of rumors about the whale setting up a huge whale pump and sell on Shiba. Okay. Well, for me, I'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure some other people will as well. I know that, a diamond hander like myself, is somewhat FUD, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't diamond handle, a lot of these because, let's face it. It gets kind of expensive, but Shiba Inu is one of those I do have. Anyway, hey, Cheesy Mike, Top Shelf. All right, Coochie Boy. They say they like my profile. Okay, all right. He is my ALBT guy. All right, right on. So you Dan, you also watched some of Rich's content. That's good. So I didn't see the super chat before now. Well, my C's ALBT. And there's a guy I haven't seen in a while. It is the one, the only Cassius Space, who has a pet rooster literally on his shoulder. He says, came back after a long vacation. How are you guys? Doing great. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We really do appreciate it. And how about this? Where did you go to, where did you vacation at? Was it a good experience? And if anything, how long of a long vacation? If you want to share it, it's up to you. Thank you for Cash Space. I really do appreciate you. And of course, super chat and just being here and so on. I was actually kind of wondering about it. I was like, I wonder what happened. There's a few people I'm like, I always say to myself, I wonder what happened to this guy. I wonder what happened to that guy. Like for instance, the Jin, he goes and does the work at an oil rig and so on. So shout out to him if he happens to be listening. Mike Who Cheesy Harry, Bitcoin Pay. 1 million supply and only 1.2 pennies. Yeah, I have kept that one on my radar. Coochie, most of them are Rose. All right, let me go further down. Everybody's saying hello to Cassius. Salamander in Space is in the house. The XDC Commander says hello to me. Good to see you, Salamander. Okay, that's 2 methods of token burning from transactions. I think you're referring to ALBT. All right. Boomer F is Sooners in the house. Thank you for joining us, Boomer. Sub Salamander, you at 2 million? Yeah, that's a good question. You at 2 million? You're probably at 1.5 at least, or 1.2 or something. I don't know. It's pretty impressive, yo. Boomer. Menelect's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Menelect. Good to have you guys here. Can we hit 30 tonight? It'd be great if we did, and it's very encouraging. Thank you guys so much for supporting CTN and being here tonight. It means a lot. And let's see here. Cash Space, South Africa for 2 months. South Africa, wow. Johannesburg specifically or some other area? But thanks for sharing that. The Sofa King Commander. Oh boy, I don't want to say something. Okay, of XTC. Whew. All right. Now that's over with. All right. We hit 30. Thank you so much for everybody that's joined us here tonight at CTN. Really, really do appreciate it. Let's get some more comments. And I do see Salamander, XTC Commander, is in his house. He dropped another super chat. It says, hello, Max. Buy XRP, XDC, XLM. Buy more. Yeah, I do need to buy more. XDC is probably the best buy at the moment, especially at these price ranges. But all of those are great. And I am looking up to buy more. I might have some. I don't know. Don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, but either next month or so on, I might really, really load up on a few more of those. That much more. All right. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Michael Montclair says he has hit 4,500 XDC, slowly getting to 10K. Nice. Good. That's good. I mean, I'm a little over 10,000. I need to get a lot more of it. But yeah, it's good that you're getting to some of these particular goals. Always have a particular goal, whatever it is, no matter how big, small, and so on. Like even me, my quant, right? I don't have quite 10. I have like 7.66, but my goal is to have a minimum of 10. And then my new goal after that will be 20. Some of you guys already have like over 100. I mean, it's awesome to hear some of the stories of people's portfolios and so on. And I get it. I mean, sometimes people don't want to be asked that, kind of like, some people don't want to be asked, like, how much they make at their job and stuff like that. Some of it's personal. We understand. But if you're volunteering, you're volunteering. All right, there we go. There's the answer. Salamander XDC Commander has 1,030,000 XDC. That's incredible. All right, Cape Town. Okay, Cape Town, South Africa. Nice. Tim Shea, Michael, can't go wrong with those triple X's. Absolutely. BTC did break 17,000. Joyce pointed out earlier. Only 9 likes. Come on, folks. Yeah, we'd appreciate more likes. It really helps with the algorithm. Metalik, I think 20K XCC is more than enough for most people to work towards. All right, I'll have to remember that. I guess I'm a little over halfway to that goal. And Coochie Boy says that, is still trying to do a little something, something. All right, 10 QNT is a great first tier. Yep, thank you. Yeah, my next tier will be a 20. Tim Shea, Coochie Boy, hope that ASS pumps for you soon. And Salamander, don't have hundreds of thousands of XRP as some folks. I don't either. I mean, I have like, I don't know, 3,600 or something like that. My goal really is about 10,000. All right, Coochie Boy, me too. And I think if anything, I'll try to make some of those moves next month, which is coming up in the next few days, but not specifically like, December 1st and so on. But I'm just looking at perspective of things that are coming up and so on. I know a lot of people feel as though that, the bull market, the real bull market might not happen in 2024. It's kind of like a mixed reaction. I don't really see like a overwhelming majority saying, like 90% of people saying it's going to be like 2024 and so on. It's a little mixed on that one. Anyway, let's get more back into our CTN coverage that we have here tonight for you guys. Again, thank you for all the people who just recently dropped in and so on. If you're brand new to this station, network, and so on, consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're about. It could be a family photo, favorite sports team, you name it, favorite crypto. Always feel as though you can ask any question. No one's going to bite your head off here and so on. We don't really have a lot of tribalism or anything like that. I think personally, for the record, I think tribalism is ridiculous when it comes to crypto. But yeah, feel free to comment on any questions, whether you're new to crypto or you're a seasoned veteran that's been in this the whole thing for many years. We have a very, very welcoming community. 14 million quant club, says Top Shelf Crypto, aka Edward Vincent. You need quant. You don't have quant. I thought you had quant. My bad. Edward 14 million quant. Yeah. Metalex. Some ISO coins are hitting 3, 4, and 5 digits, so a diverse bag is a smart move. Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight this particular one, and let's kick it right into this. So I'm gonna see where I'm at on my spot on this. So this is a particular video clip, and it's in relation, of course, to XDC or XRP, I should say. So it's this right here, and of course, this is from Crypto Luo, but he was requoting retweeting, I should say, info from Riz at RizXRP, and of course I follow him as well. It says migrating cross-border payments to ISO 222. Shout out, of course, at XRPville. It says what a gem. And if anything, I want to show you this to you guys as well, because it gives you kind of like, nothing like viewing what's going on from a geographical point of view. It's about 2 minutes, and then we'll come right back.
About migrating cross-border payments to ISO 20022. The first one is when you look at a map like this, you see many countries that are migrating their RTGS systems to ISO 20022. And when you talk about global trade, I was exchanging with a few. What we see in mature economies, about 30% of payments that are cleared via an RTGS system, like the one that you're modernizing, actually have a leg that starts cross-border, right? Because that's the way that global trade is facilitated. You serve your corporate customers, they end up wanting to pay their suppliers from other parts of the world, and these needs to reach those banks that are actually banking the suppliers. They do this for the vast majority via RTGS systems, but this is going to change. We saw on the slides of ODED before, instant payment systems, we see wallet systems. So increasingly, you have to be ready for transaction cross-border to flow through these different ecosystems. But the RTGS systems are migrating. When you do your calculation, all the next generation instant payment systems, they're based on ISO 20022. Even those CBDC experiments, by the way, when they interlink, they use ISO 20022. Our computation says that by 2025, 85% of the value exchange cross-border will have originated from 2022. So there is no choice but upgrade the cross-border. Because if not, how do you ensure that a transaction that originates in rich data can actually make it all the way to the destination country without data truncation? Yes, you can make it happen, but you will have data truncation. And that is one area where, for compliance reasons, we cannot afford it.
Right, you can't afford it. And if anything, on top of that, if you think about it, right, the whole concept of the fees with the old system, right? That's one of my key things that, we explained here at CTN quite a few times. It's not that, countries don't want to do cross-border payments and so on. They definitely do. And if anything, they should when there's a great big need for it. But if they're going to get slapped, for instance, with, these high fees, like, for instance, we use the example of this particular nation wants to transfer like $10 trillion from this particular nation to another, right? And they get hit with $60 billion worth of fees. That's ridiculous. Why? Because of that old system that dates back to the 70s and so on. Have a brand new system which eliminates that. If anything, you'll start seeing more and more of these transactions. And if anything, it just makes more sense. Not just on the speed, for the speed, but it's more secure, less fees. Again, this is why we see all this going on throughout the world, right? And we can cover that, of course, many, many times. A little bit more I want to show you guys in that regard, and I'm glad to see that, there's a lot of going on in the chat, because that's a good thing. It helps with the algorithm. By all means, if you guys haven't hit that like button, please do it. It's something that doesn't even cost you anything really. It's just boom, hit that and so on. It just helps get this channel stream out to more and more people. But it's up to you, but again, it's just something that would definitely help. All right, I'm going to show you guys this, and then after that, we will kick it back into the comments. And again, shout out to this particular individual. His name is Coach JV. I know some of you guys follow him, some of you don't. Some people feel as though like he's a little bit too out there, but I think he's a good guy overall, and he does cover XRP, and he has for years. So there's this. It says, for instance, this perspective no one is talking about, right, in regards to XRP and so on. Everything will change by 2025. And again, kind of like what you saw in the previous clip, right? Think about this for a moment, right? Just take a step back. Think about how many different crypto projects are out there that have, for instance, like a 6-month, 1-year outlook, the promise of the vision of what they have ahead, the promise of the utility of what they can gain or achieve by that time. And then look at, for instance, your ISOs, if you will, right? XRP, XLM, XDC, you name it, right? Quant, and what utility they already bring right now as we speak to the table. And if anything, you see a timeline that's mentioned, like, the flip of a switch, will it very well be March of 2023? Um, and on top of it, that timeline between 2023 and just that 2025. So me personally, it's like, yeah, that's kind of a waste to wait. Some people might have that attitude, especially newcomers to crypto. But I will state this: if you're brand new to crypto, crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Yeah, some people got really lucky, right? Last year, this bull run and so on with Doge, Shiba Inu, and so on. But if anything, recognize that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. And if anything, when you see about the utility of these particular cryptos and so on, and the timeline of how they're going to be implemented, should give you a bigger perspective to maybe do more of your own research. And of course, we like to help you with that here at CTN by educating people about some of these particular coins, tokens, and the utility. But anyway, kind of getting off on tangent. Let's check this out. This is from Coach JV, and this is about 3 minutes. And then, of course, we'll come right back.
I'm about to give you a perspective that nobody's talking about, that nobody's paying attention to. As everybody look this way, is getting drunk in the Coliseum off the wine, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. You have to pull yourself up to a 30,000 foot overview and look at the overall economic system, not just what's happening in cryptocurrency or the switch from industrial to technical. Think about this for just a moment. In 1971, the World Economic Forum was created by Klaus Schwab. Okay. In 1971, August, Nixon detached us from the gold standard. Pay attention. He detached us from the gold standard, which is God's money, natural resources that allow us to have a fair monetary system where countries and people could have resources to survive. That based on their natural resources, they could back their currency and have an even shot at the monetary system. Well, in 1971, we detached from the gold standard and turned on the printing machine in America. Now, the caveat is that destroyed other countries because they no longer were able to use their natural resources to create an even monetary system. Everybody got detached to oil, the petrodollar. So every single bit of oil was traded in US dollars. So every country was manipulated by the US dollar. Well, since 1971 to right now, as we sit, as they're building a new monetary system, which is blockchain, on-demand liquidity, and distributed ledger technology, they went way too far with the printing machine. Now, America's debt-to-income ratio is negative, and America has to borrow from foreign countries to keep the policies going. Now, here's the other side and what's going to happen in the future. Now, there's always two sides to a coin. Pay attention. So we are going to move back to a asset-backed currency in a digital type of way through blockchain, through ODL, through distributed ledger technology. That will create an even playing field for all countries to use their natural resources to be able to get in the game financially. But here's the other side of that coin. Now that it will be an asset-backed currency in a digital type of way, everybody has to be in the system. And so letting every country get in the game by using natural resources to back their currency in a digital currency type of way, you now bring the 8 billion people in the world inside of the monetary system through blockchain. And when all 8 billion people in the world, you're good with an even playing field and everybody using their natural resources, because now you can tax every single dollar that moves through the system. There's always another side to the positive coin. So know the game so you can't be played. Blockchain is here to stay. On-demand liquidity, distributed ledger technology is the future. Warriors, get your shit together. Get that credit.
All right. Shout out to Coach JV for that. I thought that was great insight, that perspective that he basically shared. And I've said it, quite a few times, and I'm going to keep saying that, think about what he basically educated a lot of us on, right? A lot of us may already know about the whole, thing of what happened back in 1971 with, Nixon taking us off the gold standard and so on. For instance, you hear about the World Economic Forum, and on top of that, it's like from 71 to present and even ongoing, if you will, There's the whole thing about, for instance, that we have this money printing machine, and we still do, and that's why I'm gonna keep making the expression, the saying, and so on, that Bitcoin isn't a hedge against inflation. It was designed originally to be a hedge against money printing, and of course, there's a lot of debate about that as well. But that's just how I personally feel about it. All right. Going to kick it back into the comments here briefly. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the coverage that we have for you tonight. We're about roughly 41 minutes into the show. Coochie Boy says, you still have the bear rallies that pushes price slightly up along the way. Then boom, next thing you know, we're in the bull run. All right, thanks for that. Salamander, the XDC commander says, I have quant, need more quant. Yes, everybody needs more quant. Harry Man Bags. Man. I'm gonna get myself in some trouble here. All right. It says quant. Thank you for that. Yeah. Apologize. I got some allergies going. Tim Shea says, hey, Harry. Okay. Boomer F. Stacking up that quant, H-bar, and XLM. Right on, man. Top Shelf Crypto, who is Edward Vinson. Rich was talking about 14 million club being people who actually own a whole quant. Oh, I must have missed that. I need to see some of his recent quant coverage. I know that he did some recent ones. Tim Shea, is that you? Might has to be. Come on. All right. XRP. Let's go a little bit further down. Drew. Wow. All right. Hashtag XDC. Yeah. Give me on that one. All right, so Tim Shea, he saw the Coinbase news, first thought they were basically supporting XRP, and now they want it off their wallets. Definitely bullish. It is definitely bullish. That's the way I look at it. And here's the guy. He must have heard his ears, like his ears are ringing. He was like, why are my ears ringing? Maybe I should hop onto CTN tonight. Here he is, the Jin. Literally was talking about you earlier. Says, Max, yes. How you doing, brother? I'm doing great. Good to see you, brother. I just got back from the rig. See? And I was at the Shell. Thalassa, awesome time, and the food was super great. Wow. You always got the great food. I remember that. Well, we were talking about you earlier. I don't know, something about, I think, it was Cassius Space. He dropped a super chat. And if anything, I said to myself, I wonder what happened to you, Good to see you back. He mentioned he was on vacation, and I even mentioned it in the same breath, once in a while, like I'll think, I wonder what happened to the Jin, and then you come on, you're like, yeah, I was away because at the oil rig doing work and so on, and literally you're here. So that's really, really cool, Jin. Appreciate you being here, and keep enjoying the great food. All right, Bobby Jonas says hello again, and look at that custom avatar. He has a ripe looking, looks like an orange. Is that an orange? I think it's an orange. Looks like an orange. Oh, lemon. Yeah, an orange. Maybe it's a Florida orange. I only had a Florida orange juice once. I was back in late 2005 when I went to South Beach, Miami Beach, which was pretty cool. Anyway, let me see where my spot was, because I think I lost. Oh, there we go. I got it. All right, everybody saying hello to each other. Thank you so much for doing so. And again, thank you guys for joining us here at CTN. Tim Shea, the Jin, out there working hard and living it up. Yep. And probably putting some money towards crypto, right? Because, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. If you get paid every 2 weeks, a little bit towards your crypto, adding up, towards, DCA and so on. But it also depends on the market. All right. Yeah, Brian Allen says, right, Tim, they put in good word for XRP, then take it off the wallet. BlackRock has something to do with it. Maybe. That's a good point. Definitely think so, Brian. Tim or Selmo, you have the conversation. He states BlackRock are crooks. Yep, and they're also the world's largest asset custodian. And I saw some of the recent tweets within the last few days. Some people felt as though that BlackRock was gonna collapse, if you will, and so on. But like I also mentioned, even if they were to liquidate half of their assets, that would be worth the GDP of like at least a handful of countries. So I don't know. Could it still happen? Yeah, anything could happen at this point. All right, Dixie Wrecked says hello to Tim. And welcome, Dixie Wrecked. I've never seen you before, so how about this? Everybody go ahead and welcome Dixie. And if anything, consider changing your name to something about who you are, what you're about. If you have any questions, comments, and so on, feel free to share it. We have a very welcoming community. And thank you so much, of course, for joining us here tonight. We, of course, welcome each other. Crypto Mike killing it. All right. Beamer name. Yeah. All right. Let me go further down. See if they got any questions and so on before we kick it back into the XRP coverage. Dude looks like Braun Strowman. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Kind of like a Simpsons reference, you know. Remember Hugh Jazz? You know, I remember that. It was Bart Simpson. What was that, like the first season of the Simpsons? Little known fact: Bart Simpson and me is the same age, if he actually aged, because that show literally came out. I was that age when it came out. So, yeah. So yeah, Bart Simpson would be 41 basically. Anyway, Tim Shea keeps his hardware wallet in the beard. Wow. All right, Jen, how many sides does this coin have? All right, Stake Hex, thank me later. You need to wash out everything that isn't true DeFi. All right, thanks for joining us. Good to see some Hexicans up in the house. Brian Dowdy, regulars mount up. Regulators. I still love that song. Hip hop classic, right? Warren G, Nate Dogg, regulate. Man, I'm about to sneeze. Joyce says he makes a lot. Man, allergies. Anyway, kind of got dusty today outside. Joyce says he makes a lot of good points there. Yeah, he does. Man, all right. So, sorry, I just got kind of an itchy nose. Stake Hex, thank me later. Yep. Phil Tio, hey, Coochie. All right, let's go further down. I laughed at that good name. Yep. Oh, man. I'm starting to get some hay fever all of a sudden. Oh, man, I had to take a histamine or something. All right, some of fun. Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do the gold standard system for Libya and was killed for it. That's a good point. All right, BlackRock will be just fine. Yeah, I think so too. Oh, man, this is driving me nuts. All right, top shelf crypto. Edward Vincent, correct me if he's wrong. He states, could it be that XRP and XLM aren't really made to be retail assets or be taken off since it's going to be used for bigger things than us little bitty fishies? That's a great point. That is a great point, because if anything, that is true. Think about it. You know, shout out to Edward Vincent, Top Shelf Crypto. He makes a very valid statement, and that is just that. They've stated many times, not necessarily Stellar Lumen's position, right? But Brad Garlinghouse and so on has stated, you know, at least I would say 3 times that I know of that, you know, they never were focused on retail, right? So that could very well be it. And then again, what their focus is going on with the financial sectors, you know, the world. And heck, how about this, you know, everything with that's going on recently with the healthcare thing, some of their partnerships in regards to like real estate, a thing in Portugal. I haven't covered that yet. I'm probably going to. Man, I apologize, guys. It's kind of having a hard time with my allergies right now. All right. Daniel Delgado, good point, Selma. All right, let me go further down. Max, say no. All right. Phil Atio. I don't know. Is that another? I don't know. There's some of them I get and some I don't probably. Yes, Elbow Cough NFT coming your way shortly probably. Brian Downey, switch your avatar. That sounds bad too. The Gin, Larry and Patches, I love you guys and I miss you. Always remember that. Yeah, Larry really wanted to come on today. Really, I'm not making excuses and so on. So he and I were really looking forward to doing like the Max and Larry show, because we haven't done the Max and Larry show in a while, and he has something coming up that came up last minute. I don't know if it was quite like a family emergency and so on, but basically it's some kind of personal that happened. And he definitely needed to just, work on that particular thing and so on. But he hopes, of course, to be back when he can. Shout out to Larry and so on. I hope you're doing a lot better. And I'm sure that he'll appreciate that you asked about him, Jen. All right. Joyce says, is the same person coming on with the strange names? I have a dirty mind and would translate them. Oh, you have a dirty mind, Joyce. Well, that's interesting. So, there's, sometimes it's good to have a dirty mind. And yeah, even, you got Brian Dowie laughing about it. I mean, he's just like, Joyce, I don't know. I think a dirty mind was, I don't know. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into this. I don't want to go down that whole rabbit hole right now. All right. Steak Hex, thank me later. Take a look at Shadow State if you haven't seen it. I haven't. A well done documentary. You'll realize how a system is in place to control monetary and humanity. All right. I do enjoy a good documentary once in a while. So thank you for that. I'll have to remember Shadow State. Huh. So Shay's saying hello, Brian. All right. Joyce, his name is Mike, Crypto Mike. Was he James Bond all of a sudden? His name is Mike, Crypto Mike. James Bond, 007. Shaken, not stirred. Yeah. Because that's the Chicago way. What's it going to be? The hospital or the morgue? All right. Michael Montclair, don't buy XRP. You can't withdraw it only through like XRP. Cabo, which can't be used in the US. So you have to swap for USDT, Tether, then withdraw. All right. Oh, Hotbit. Yeah. All right. I don't even know if I want to say this. There's something going on. I'm not going to say it. XRP will dominate this. All right. All right. Well, it's good. It's good to laugh, right? And I'm glad to have, the good laughs and so on, because we need to have some good laughs in this time. This date and time. All right, let's kick it into our next part of our coverage that we have here tonight. Let me see, and that is this right here. I got it for you, I swear. All right. So, yeah, this right here. In regards to Ripple's on-demand liquidity. All right. And by the way, check out the latest recorded video in which goes into a little bit more detail about Ripple's on-demand liquidity. It comes from a pretty nice perspective, especially from how Crypto Lulu put together. Anyway, it says Ripple's ODL customer inner and co joins Amazon's payment service provider program. I might actually make a recorded based on this because this was pretty fresh, hot off the press earlier, about roughly 3-4 hours ago. So I'm going to blow this up for you guys. And it says, for instance, they joined Amazon's payment service provider program. So it says allowing Inter as a super app to promote Brazilian entrepreneurs to sell through the largest marketplace in the world. And then, of course, there's a little bit more in regards to this. Here it comes straight from Market Screener. And it says that this super app is offering a complete range of services, of course, in banking, investments, credit, insurance, shopping, and remittance related services. Announced that it is joined Amazon's payment service provider program, the PSP. The program basically requires any seller who uses PSP for revenue collecting to work with an Amazon approved provider. Inter's Brazilian clients who are sellers with Amazon US will now be able to receive and send payments directly to their Inter accounts. And I don't know, it seemed like it was something worth sharing. And if anything, I mean, it's another positive catalyst to add to the huge grocery list for Ripple and XRP. So I thought I'd go ahead and share that. This next one is another particular video clip. It is, again, from the guys you refer to as the guy who hides his cold storage wallet in his beard, aka Coach JV. I'm going to go ahead and share this, but he's got great perspective, again. And I, of course, want to share that. So it says the switch just got flipped. Some of you guys already heard about this, basically what was posted on Twitter and so on. I'm sure some of you guys probably already saw Rich of Common Sense Crypto's coverage of what has recently happened in regards to the whole thing with Russia and flipping the switch, if you will. But if you haven't, nonetheless, listen to this as well. It's still pretty interesting. It says, breaking news, the switch just got flipped. Putin calls for blockchain. This is about a minute and a half, and we'll come right back.
The switch just got flipped. Breaking news. Russia, hours ago, Putin announced that he is asking for international settlements based on blockchain and digital currencies. Now, remember, in July, Putin signed something into law banning digital asset payments in Russia. But now check out how quickly the narrative is changing. So this was July 2022. Vladimir Putin signs law banning digital assets in Russia. September 25th, 2022, Russia starts developing mechanisms for international crypto payments. October 29th, new mining bill permitted cross-border payments filed in Russia parliament. 7 hours ago, Putin calls for international settlements based on blockchain and digital currencies. I've been teaching the game for a couple years now. As you look this way at the FTX collapse, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. If you know the game, you can't be played. As people fight an invisible enemy that doesn't exist, they fall deeper into the matrix, not understanding that every problem has a reaction, and whoever creates a problem comes up with the solution. Warriors, get your shit together. Love you guys.
All right, that comes, of course, straight from Coach JV. You can follow him at CoachJV_ right on Twitter. He is the CEO of 3T Warrior Academy. He has helped over 5,000 people worldwide with crypto and mindset education. All right. So with that said, I'm also going to get back into the comments here briefly, and then we have some more news. It's in regards to like XLM and a little bit of XRP and so on. Of course, Boomer F and Sumer is saying hello to Crypto Mike. And Gianni says, wow. Joyce says, do you think other exchanges will follow? It could very well happen, because I mean, if anything, if some of them know some things of what's coming up with the quote unquote flip of the switch, I mean, realistically speaking, how can a lot of these exchanges pay us this astronomical amounts of money? They may not be able to do so. And so if anything, they're preparing for that. So yeah, I would say that some other exchanges might, follow suit. And of course, that's going to create a division. Let's face it. There's going to be people, especially like myself, are going to look at like, I'm that much more bullish. And then there's going to be the other aspect of it where, people who are not as informed are going to look at it in a negative, in a negative light, if you will. And that's what comes with the territory, unfortunately. All right. Summer Flood. It sure does smell, Mike. Wow. Sounds like a cool app from Clint. Tim Shea, Joyce, if they do, it would be very bullish. I keep my XRP on the exchanges. Hello, Gianni. Crypto McDizzle. Hey guys, how you been doing? Bah ha ha, yeah. Okay. Sup, McDizzle. McDizzle says, sup, man. Huh. Sup, man. Who says that? Scarface, How you doing, man? I know. Should know me. All right. Gianni says, Tim, something new is coming. And then the Jin says, Max, I'll always be there for you guys. Always remember that. Well, thank you, Jen. Really do appreciate that. All right. Getting more into our particular coverage for the night. Going to show you guys this particular one. Hold on a second. So this actually comes from Cointelegraph, and it is in regards to XLM, right? Stellar Lumens, because a lot of times, Stellar just doesn't get enough coverage for whatever reason. Let me go ahead and highlight this particular one. Summer Flood. I heard that JP Morgan helped Putin with the finance of crypto purchases. Wow. Well, oh man, JP Morgan, in my opinion, already has a bad name, and that just makes it even more worse. All right. So let me go ahead and highlight that. We're going to kick it into the Stellar Lumens coverage we have for you guys. And here it is. So this comes straight from Cointelegraph. It says founder of payments network Zelle, of course, joins Stellar focused startup as CEO. Now you got to keep in mind this is from a while back, but it's in relation to what's going on. So, for instance, it says Mike Kennedy, founder of digital payments network Zelle, joins Stellar focused crypto development company Interstellar as new CEO. And the reason why I bring it to you guys is, if anything, I want you guys to have a bigger understanding, even though you do, to technically speaking, about how it's not just XRP, right? But it's also Stellar as just that, the international part of the international payment system, and how that entails to what's going on presently speaking. So, for instance, it says Kennedy's network Zelle is the payment system used by, of course, J.P. Morgan Chase, the Citibank of America, and many other financial institutions, according to his website. It also claimed that Zelle manages over 50 billion in transaction volumes from over 25 million users. Now, Interstellar expects Kennedy and his team to build new services for Stellar, and says, of course, with Interstellar, I see another opportunity to solve a real-world problem. Today, international payments are inefficient, expensive, and slow. Millions of individuals and business would benefit from solving these problems. The Stellar Development Foundation has developed what I believe is the best blockchain based on payments network, enabling fast and inexpensive international payments. And of course, there's a lot more in regards to this. But if anything, I'm looking at the timing of what's going on here, and I'm reflecting about reflecting towards some of these things that you see from the past, because it gives you a broader perspective of what is happening now, right? Stellar kind of flies under the radar, right? They don't get as much people, I guess you could say, mentioning or sharing specific tweets, specifically mentioning them. But, like this part right here, I meant to share this part. It says, that being said, Kenny also admitted that Stellar's ecosystem still lacks some features needed to fulfill his vision. He also noted that, in his opinion, a nonprofit organization such as SDF is unsuitable to solve this. This is Interstellar's role. Now, in regards to that, they have already built up their ecosystem quite a bit since then. Now, not to the mass scale of like the likes of ADA and XDC, but if anything, when you see this whole thing with on-demand liquidity and cross-border payments, Stellar's right up there when it comes to all what's about to happen here within the next few months. And so, if anything, I definitely just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention because it gives you a perspective of where some of these partnerships have happened and where we're still going here shortly in the future. On top of that, there's this that I'm going to bring you guys. Let me present in a way so you can see it. So there's this, and it says basically Ripple's XRP and Stellar Lumens is the only crypto that is part, of course, of ISO 222 and can work with CBDCs. Now, this doesn't mean that these are the only ones that are technically ISO 222 compliant and so on, right? These are the two ones that really stand out as far as specifically the cross-border payments and what they bring to the table for CBDCs. Now, two key highlights. It says ISO 222 compliant digital assets might become the standard for regulatory enforcement because they can work, of course, with CBDCs. And Ripple's XRP and Stellar Lumens XLM are the only tokens that suit the creation of just that, CBDCs. It says, since its explosion of cryptocurrency to the mainstream, regulators have been trying to see which digital asset will more likely fall in line with their view of interoperability. And of course, as you know, Quant always mentions the whole case for interoperability and so on. And of course, their technology is a whole other story. But again, I kind of look at Quant in that regard as being the software that creates a lot of just that, the interoperability that we need to accomplish a lot of these, for instance, blockchains to be 100% interoperable. But anyway, like it states, hence they are trying to incorporate ISO 222 crypto assets because they suit the regulators' development of a CBDC. ISO 222 is the global standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions through a society of worldwide interbank financial telecommunication, right? SWIFT. And basically, SWIFT isn't going away. They're simply upgrading that particular system, right, to a more modern system. Hence, using Ripple's on-demand liquidity. Swift has even been in talks with Quant, Gilbert Verdian, Martin Hargreaves, and so on how they can, basically upgrade their technology, if you will. Now, it states this system is set to change how banks communicate and enhance interoperability. In addition, integrating key crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum into the SWIFT ecosystem and giving them an ISO number will radically change how digital assets and fiat currency interact. Now, you got to keep in mind, I mean, we understand that those particular technologies are old and so on, but if anything, is again recognizing these particular legacy systems and making it still interoperable. There's this right here. So it says, for instance, from Wrath of Kahneman is the name. It says, okay, but this is just confusing. Like, make up your mind. At this point, Ripple's XRP is the only cryptocurrency player officially part of the ISO 242 financial industry messaging scheme. Another compatible and compliant cryptocurrency is Stellar Lumens XLM. And some people do kind of get confused with some of the particular statements, but I think if anything, it's not a case of these other ISOs like we talk about XDC and so on, right? The main thing is where I feel as though at the start of the flip being switched, the ones that are really going to stand out are definitely these first two, and that is, of course, XRP and XLM for some of these things that were mentioned in this particular article and so on. Last but not least, this right here, it says the European Union is transitioning to ISO 222 in November, right, which is basically now. Of course, that has been delayed, right, to the mandate, which is going to happen in March, to facilitate high-volume cross-border transactions. This will involve, we talked about here a few times, the Target 2 system, which is the financial settlement platform adopted by all central banks within the EU bloc. However, the United States Federal Reserve plans to basically transition to ISO 2122 for November of 2023. And it states, with that, experts believe that ISO-compliant cryptocurrency will change the digital asset landscape, and regulators will ease their strict stance in dealing with ISO 222 assets. Now, personally speaking, this is mixed for me, because I have heard originally that the United States won't fully come on board until, for instance, 2025. Now, I have to look more into this personally, but and I, of course, would love to hear from our particular community in regards to this. Does this basically mean that the United States is realizing what's going on with the likes of Europe and so on? And if anything, like we point out here countless times, have decided, you know what, we need to get on board with this a little bit more sooner. Could very well be the case, or if anything, maybe that's the start of it. And then by 2025, that will wrap things up. I don't know. I don't know if that's the finalization, but if anything, I wanted to bring this to you guys' attention because I want to create some of that conversation, because that is very, very interesting. I mean, that's basically a year from now. That's a big jump forward compared to the narrative that we got before of the United States coming in basically in 2025. And of course, like it mentions on this part right here, the two verifiable ISO 222 compliant digital assets, of course, are Ripple's XRP and Stellar Lumens XLM. Others that might be compliant include, of course, Algorand, Hedera's HBAR, IOTA, Quant, Cardano, and XDC. And of course, if you guys want to read more about this, it's got a lot of more detail about the various other countries that are involved, banks, and so on. And you can get this straight from Crypto News Flash. So shout out to them for providing this. Let's kick it back into the comments. And of course, thank you for being here tonight at CTN. All right. The next comment actually is a super chat. So thank you for that. This is from Salamander, the XDC commander. Thank you so much for $2 super chat, my friend. Binance will be the king in exchanges. And if anything, they will continue to hold that value. And that is true. They will continue to be the king in exchanges. Thank you so much for this $2 super chat. And thank you for pointing that out. The Chin, some of the rigs have the YouTube channel blocked due to heavy stringing all the Wi-Fi bandwidth at the rig. Yeah, if anything, you can install a VPN. You know what I mean? Go with some various ones that you might trust. I'm thinking like one that I used to use a lot. I probably have to sign up for a subscription again, as Hotspot VPN. I used that one for like many years. I could definitely vouch for them. All right. Tim Shea sounds a little like treason. Yeah. Gianni and JP Morgan telling us that crypto is not safe, but is having a lot of crypto in its portfolio. Yeah, it's talking about being hypocrites, but let's face it, guys, it's JP Morgan. They're opportunists. They're always going to be on the side of what's best for business, not what's best for public opinion. All right. Brian Dowie, Gianni, they all have ish lows of crypto. They do. Yep, he knows. Salamander, there are a lot of banks who are not reported in the media who invest in FTX. I wonder who. That's a good point. Brian Dowie, as soon as the case is over, we will see how much XRP and XLM Wall Street has, but lots of the escrows allotted to them already. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up as well, because it would be interesting to see how much has been allotted already. All right. Tim Shea agrees with you. A lot of people do. The Jen, good night, you all. I have driven 7 hours, drank a Corona, and now it's time for bedtime, basically. All right. Well, thank you for that, Jen. Good to see you. Brian Dowie, he calls BS. They're on board the whole time. Yeah, probably they just wanted to keep that away from the public narrative. But do they really, really care that much about public opinion? I don't think so, especially them at this point. All right. Take care, Jen. Yep. Take care. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us, the Jen. Brian Dowie states the FTX collapse, the war, and a few other things just sped things up. It did. It's a good point. The Jen, Salamander, dirty. Yeah. Okay. Venezuelan. Huh. All right. Brazilian as well. All right. Let me highlight that particular one. And if anything, let me see. I'm going to look at a few key more things I want to show you guys for the overall crypto market and so on. Just kind of want to pull that up. Give me a second. So here we go. And yeah, I mean, like we saw before, Pancake Swap, Bitcoin, Solana is still trending and so on. On the 1 hour, ApeCoin is up close to 5%. What's going on with Ape? Anybody know what's going on with Ape? It's up about 7% on the 7 to 8% on the 24-hour chart, 34% for the week for the top 100. Some of these other ones we mentioned, even Uniswap, right? We pointed that out in the past and so on. Clayton. I still feel as though Near is a buy, but I understand that Near is kind of something that not everybody just wants to jump right into. I still feel Polkadot could do a lot of crazy things in a bull run. I need to get some Polkadot. My friend loaded up quite a bit on Polkadot over the many months of this bear market. Okay, Cosmos went up slightly. I remember that was kind of a buy under the $10 mark. Guys, XRP is back up to past 40 cents. It's up 5% right now. Could that be in relation to what has recently happened with the whole thing with Coinbase and so on? Could be. ETH Classic is up as well. And yeah, that's what's going on with that. Check my watch list just again here briefly. I'm just going to refresh it real quick. All right. Veracity was up. I remember shout out to Waddy. I think he was covering something about Veracity the other day. It was when our show was going on, so I didn't have a chance to obviously see that. Let me go ahead and refresh what's going on what could be on sale as far as my watch list. Again, your watch list could be different. No, I am not a crypto trillionaire right now with Shinja. This is, of course, from them moving a lot of things around. It's just kind of all messed up right now. So it's just kind of like a bug in the reporting from CMC, right? But I do see that CMC is updated its particular price from the V1 to the V2. I realize what some of you guys have been sharing about the whole thing with Bitmart. And I would agree with Coochie Boy. It is absolute robbery. The taxes that Bitmart is charging is absolutely ridiculous. And if anything, guys, I mean, I understand that Bitmart can be convenient as far as like when you want to get certain type of cryptos that might not be available everywhere. So you go there out of convenience, but the prices is definitely an inconvenience as far as these taxes and so on. It's just it's beyond ridiculous, and it is darn right robbery. Did anybody confirm? I haven't had a chance to look into it. So did one of the top devs from Lily Finance? Did they ever confirm anything with what Jake Agan was talking about? Did they even agree to come on the show with Rodney and Jake. I guess I could look into that myself, but that was kind of interesting to see because I know there's talks about them getting listed on Coinbase. Obviously, I don't think that happened because I think I would have saw my whole feed blow up if it did. Let's kind of look into some of these other ones and so on. Let me see. KuCoin, you want to consider that a buy? I don't know. All right, GBEX. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's about it. I think I'm gonna wrap up the show. I can't thank you enough for being here. I know there's about 27 people here, and I really do appreciate it. I'm just gonna read the last few comments. Yeah, it says at the gin. LOL. All right. Well, I'm glad at least said hello to you before I go ahead and wrap things up. So he says, Vargas says, Max, YouTube influencer Mark Moss has a video explaining how there will how there will be no more bull runs in crypto due to regulations. Have you seen it? Nope, I have not seen it. Just curious because it's going around. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I'll state this, okay? And I'm not going to bash on another influencer. All right. And I'm glad you brought this up. I've also recently seen this whole thing about this, and it's a huge, huge chart basically saying that crypto is going to go away. And there's this whole other new secretive financial system and so on. I'm going to state this. Crypto is not going away for the same reason that blockchain ain't going away. So, I mean, with all the negative aspects of what's going on with cryptos we see and so on, if you want to look at that crypto or stock market / crypto cheat sheet, you know what I mean, where it shows the graph and it goes down and how some people feel as though like this could be a relief rally or, where the extreme fear is or and so on, right? And if anything, maybe he is mentioning some of these things about, the new financial system, how quote unquote crypto is going away. I feel as though, no, it's not necessarily going away. There might be a lot more regulations. I think there definitely will be regulations as far as what's going on, especially with entering into this whole new realm of CBDCs and so on. And definitely with the thing that happened recently with FTX, let's face it, with the collapse of UST and how that played out, if you will, that was, I guess you could say, on the agenda of some of these congressional bills and legislation that was supposed to, pass, but didn't. It was on their priority list. If anything, now it's more on their priority list. But as far as saying that due to crypto regulations, crypto is going away, I don't see it. I'm open-minded. I will definitely take a look into his particular video and so on. But again, I haven't seen it, so I can't really make a full analysis or give an answer about that. All right, Coochie Boy, Max, everything goes up in a bull run. Yeah, Max, you have Baby Doge on your favorites. I think I saw it. Yeah, I do. It's been on my list for quite a while. Because I mean, let's face it, I mean, yeah, I'm more focused on the ISOs and stuff like that, utility ones and so on, but at the same time, I recognize the opportunity if it's there. So no, it's Shibnobi charging 6%. Yeah. Trading fee. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, oh, it's not okay. I guess I read that wrong. So you're saying it's not necessarily Bitmart, it's actually Shibnobi themselves. Yikes. Boy, I guess that's something that's going. So did you go to the AMA? Did you bring up some of these things? I think you mentioned that you were gonna attend that. All right, have a lovely night. Thank you so much. Cliff wants his money. Hey, have a good night. Yep, thank you so much. Yep, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you, of course, for being here. Be on the lookout for more Quant and Triple X's videos and so on coming up here later tonight. Definitely go ahead and put that out. And if anything, we're getting a lot of traction, headway in regards to that and so on. And we need it, especially here at CTN moving forward, because if anything, if we could have a breakout before the bull run starts, we could definitely get that much more momentum, I should say, going forward. So again, guys, have a great night, especially with the this particular statement right here. And we'll see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. On behalf of Larry, myself, and the rest of the CTN Network family, take it easy. We'll see you on the next one. I will take a look. I'll see you guys. All right.